Hey everyone, Draco Magnius here for another episode of Let's Play Ni no Kuni. In the last episode, we did some side quests around the fairy grounds, and we couldn't do all of them, but that's what we did. In this episode, we're gonna take a tour of all the islands we can go to. Actually, before I do that, there's something I do want to check really quick. No. Okay. So I need to get Faye at least a level higher. Wrath, we're swapping you out for a moment. For reasons. Alright. Forward march. As I said, this is going to be basically a tour of all the islands we can go to because we have the ship and it's now available to us. So basically this episode's going to be me going to each and every island and say, these are the creatures that are found there, and doing bios. This is a thing you can draw from there. And this is probably going to be like a two-parter. And I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't watch this. This is more for people if, like, they want to find certain familiars. I'm pointing them out for them. Or if they're trying to find certain resources that you can pull from these islands, I'm helping with that too. But without further ado, let's head to our first island. I just need to find where I make shore on this island, because I forget sometimes. My practice file, I don't have to use the ship anymore for I'm avoiding spoilers. So I'm not going to say why exactly I don't need the ship, but at a certain point we won't need the ship anymore. Well, I mean, I guess we kind of will for certain islands, but just know we won't be using the ship forever. Welcome to the No Longer Mine. Nifty little island. It's got a diverse set of creatures, which we are going to cover in just a moment. Let me just pull up my thing, and I will see you all in just a moment. Okay, our very first familiar that's on the No Longer Mine is a reminder, and it is Iron Man. Iron Man is resistant to physical attacks, but weak to storm. They can drop drill screws and raw steel. They know short circuit, rolling stone, crosswind, and more. And now we move on to our next familiar on the list. Our first new familiar, the Lumberwood. There we go. Despite towering over most wizards, these creatures are surprisingly gentle and adored by nature lovers the world over. That is a bold-faced lie. I've seen the Lumberwood. I have one in my practice file. It is not taller than most wizards. It's pretty short. I mean, it's comparable to the others. Iron Man is a lot taller than this thing. But I digress. This thing is resistant to storm and weak to fire. They are born under the star sign. They can drop fish burgers and star crystals. They know Sling Stone and Healing Tear. Before we move on to its other forms, I do want to mention this about the Lumberwood. You might want to pick one up. There isn't a side quest for picking up a Lumberwood, but it's one of the strongest defense-wise familiars in the game. So if you want a really tanky familiar, you want to get yourself a Lumberwood. Also, they learn healing moves throughout their evolutions. I think the second one learns at least 2 different healing moves. So if you need a tanky healer, boom, get yourself a Lumberwood. Oh, also, these only spawn in one area on the map that I'll be showing you after we finish the review. But let's move onward. The first evolved form is the Limberwood. These creatures give off a calming fragrance when their flowers are in bloom, and are a pleasure to be around. No one has ever reported seeing one lose its temper. Like the previous form, it is resistant to storm and weak to fire, and born under the star sign. Unknown where you'd find it, unknown what they might drop, but they know healthy glow, sickly spores, rockfall, and more. The Limberwood can evolve into an Umberwood. The red leaves of the Umberwood glow during the evening, instilling those who look upon them with a fresh feeling of warm well-being. Shares the same weakness and resistance as the previous form, as well as the same star sign. Unknown where to find them or what they would drop rather, but they know Belly Buster, Healing Rain, Stalagmites, and more. And the other final evolved form is the Wildwood. These creatures have been granted the power of a wild primeval forest, and are intrinsically opposed to any form of civilization. They share the same weakness and resistance as all other forms, They are born under the same sign. It is unknown where they could be found or what they would drop, but they know Crosswind, Ear Splitter, Yoo-Hoo, and more. Now, I think the main difference between the two forms is that Umberwood is more healing-based because it has Healing Rain. Although it does have a couple of... well, I mean, Belly Buster's a physical move. I suppose Stalagmits is too, but I consider it an Earth move, even though Earth isn't an element in the game, but I'm just picking at straws here, honestly. Wildwood, on the other hand, is more Storm-based because it has Crosswind, and it doesn't really get more healing moves as far as I can see from here, so I guess it's, do you want a more offensive tank or do you want a heal tank? But now we move on to the next creature we can find here on the No Longer Mine. This one is another reminder. We can find Duncecap on the No Longer Mine. They are resistant to Storm and born under the moon sign, and you don't need that information. Why did I say that? Derp. They drop green grapes and glow caps. They can know Healing Rain, Mighty Light, Second Wind, and more. Alright, now the last thing that's on here is what we're going to be covering next. Another reminder. Most of the islands have reminders with some new ones sprinkled in as well. But we're covering the Balloonatic. Resistant to Storm, they drop Caramels and Pixie Dew. They know Whirly Whirls, Body Blast, Rockfall, and more. Alright, with all that said and done, now we can explore the island. Balloonatics like their form that's on the stupid mountain, or stupid volcano. It's a mountain. They chase you, regardless of how much stronger you are than they are. Because they just like being jerks, I guess. Oh, right. Wait, what? These things are here? Hang on, now I have to encounter this thing because I missed one in the bios. Could have swore I put everything on here, though. Sycophant? Hold on. I think that one's marked as unknown in the book. We need to do some research here, folks. One moment, please. Beast Day. No, yes, Sycophant, no longer mine. How the heck did I miss that, then? Weird. Well... oh. And I'm an idiot because I should have freaking... I should have left it open to see what the weakness was for it. Fire. Iron Man's gonna be weak to Storm. Oh yeah, Hurley. I mean, I don't feel as bad about not covering Hurley because he was Swain's starter. And I'm pretty sure as his starter, he's marked as an unknown. Yep, Habitat Unknown. So that one's not really my fault. It's the book's fault and technically the game's fault for marking him as unknown simply because he's a starter. But I digress. Ow. Oh no, you're resistant to fire. My bad. Well, the thing that was weak to fire just kind of went down, so... I am dying! What level am I that went very poorly? Ow. Well, at least it's down. Please let me get that! Oh well. I don't have to cover Hurley because... oh hey! Faye got Razzle Dazzle. And that is exactly what I needed Faye to learn. I mean, I could leave Faye on there for now, but... eh. That's for the slapstick quest on the Fairy Grounds. That blinds people, so... that is going to make my job a whole lot easier with that slapstick quest. Oh, right, I still have to cover the Sycophant. Sycophant! Resistant to water, weak to fire. Drop sturdy shin bones and drake stones. Oh, so they drop drake stones. Neat. Bubble Bath. They know Bubble Bath, Maddening Melody, Water Spout, and more. Well, I am all over the place for the beginning of this episode, aren't I? And I remembered that triangle is what closes that. Okay, so where is... Is there no draw point on the No Longer Mine? I was pretty sure there was. I just didn't remember what it was that you get from it. Also, I should heal up before I regret my decision to not. Holy hell, I have 13 Phoenix Feathers. Oh right, I splurged last time, didn't I? I remember now. Alright, so let's see. We got 2 Lumberwoods and a Sycophant. Now, that corner is the only section they spawn. Lumberwood is part of a group of 5 different familiars that are rooted to one spot in one area. You'll never run around the No Longer Mine and see another Lumberwood spawn. At least in my experience, I haven't seen that. So now let's set some trees on fire. And then maybe have them be our friends, because that's how friendship works. And... although now that I'm thinking about it, I am probably going to have to, the hell? Wouldn't just a straight shot have been a lot simpler than rotating around everyone? Ooh, need it, need it, need it! Good. I might have to rest at an inn at a certain point. Well, so much for Lumberwood. I was really hoping to get one, but I suppose I don't need one. I still have Banana Joe, and he's pretty good. Oh, another thing about the Lumberwood, they don't have weapons. They use, I think it's armor, scales, and patches. They use the same thing that Might uses. Oh, there's the draw point all the way over there. How did I miss that? I'm just gonna calmly and carefully try and sneak my way around. Ah, 555 guilders. So if you need cash and you don't want to sell anything or do some battles, just come here and pull 555 out of there every time. Now, excuse me, Balloonatic, I don't want to... Ah, what the hell, it's a new enemy, I might as well fight it.
No slacking, you lot!
Here goes.
Plasma ball. Wow, that Sycophant is getting whooped. You know, Esther, maybe if you were healing instead of shooting electricity at something, you wouldn't be dead right now. Now me and Swain have to carry the slack because you were an idiot. Oh good, tidy ears. If only Esther was here for this. Why was Oliver running toward the screen? You know what, it's fine. I won't question it. I like Firewall. Firewall is nice. Glad I picked that up.
Is that it?
No, that's fine. I didn't want to pick up the health orb. By all means, let that just go. Oh, nice. I mean, I'm not going to metamorph it until it gets to max level, but it's nice that it can metamorph now. Alright, let us continue our adventure against my better judgment. Oh wow, do I have any magic restoration? I have basic coffee. Oh boy. This is gonna be a challenge. I mean, I still want to do the tour here. If I have to do some cuts here and there, you know, for, you know, the ease of going back to town and healing up every so often, I'll do that, but I'd prefer not to. It's a lot more editing I have to do if that were the case. Not that I'm against more editing per se, it's just more time consuming. It makes it harder to upload on time with all the other stuff I have to do. But I'm not here to complain, I'm here to play a video game and have a fun time while you guys are enjoying... I hope anyway you're enjoying the video as well. Of course I have no way of knowing that, being that I'm recording this in what will be the past for you, but... Hey look, we're at the island now! Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the Spindle. Spindle is significantly smaller, probably one of the smallest islands, not the smallest mind you, but it's probably in the top 5 of the smaller islands. Anyway, let's cover what we have here. Remember the pike tyke? Yep, they're found here. They're resistant to water and weak to storm. They drop Nix Begons and Jade Marbles. They know Bubble Bath, Siesta Sigh, Ray of Life, and more. Let's move on to our next one. Next we have the Lickety Spatoo. They are resistant to fire. They drop Blindness Begons and Iron Diamonds. They know Bubble Bath, Pick Me Up, Water Spout, and more. And now we move on to the last familiar on this island. Alright, and we have the Webmaster. It has no weaknesses or resistances. They drop Moondrops and Fog Drops, and know Maddening Melody, Stalagmites, Slowpoke, and more. And that does it for all of them, just nothing but a bunch of reskins technically, but hey, that's fine. Let's see, I'm pretty sure either there's a draw point on here or there's a draw point I can't access yet. Both of which highly likely. Oh yeah, there's the draw point up there. Well, let's battle some new things.
Let's do it!
Okay, 2 Pike Tykes and a Webmaster.
Here goes!
Let 'em burn. Ooh, and great timing on that. Ow. Please don't kill me! Oh, thank God. Phew. And he's down!
Better luck next time.
Oh, nice! Hake 7. Hake 7 got a level. And so did Tinny Tim. Oh, cool, and he got Rolling Stone. Now he can have rock concerts. And also throw rocks. But mostly the rock concert thing. Let's see, that's to draw aggro. Do I want to give him Rolling Stone? I should probably give him Short Circuit, to be honest. Because we have fire on him, we have a storm now. I never gave you your... Jeez, I am slipping, apparently, in this file. Let's see, I could give him Sabotage to lower defense, or Smash Hit to do significant melee damage. Then again, Ray of Light does the same thing, pretty much, so... Or I could put Blunt to reduce their attack. Sabotage seems like the better idea in all honesty. Okay. Forward to the next island! Let's see, what else could I talk about while we're on the sea? See, this is why I'm probably not going to do a Wind Waker Let's Play ever. Because it's hard to think of topics to talk about while on the open sea. Not a lot to comment on, we can't play I Spy. Pretty bland. Alright, anyway, we're at the next island. This island is known as the Broken Crown and is inaccessible to us at this current moment in time. Again, to avoid spoilers, I'm not going to tell you how we access that right now. Just know at a later point we can access it, but really there's only a draw point on here, and that's the only reason you're going to want to use this before post-game. Post-game it becomes more important, I think. I haven't actually seen the post-game, but I found a post somewhere that said this is important for post-game. Anyway, moving on to the next island. So how we doing so far? Oh, I never removed these two. There we go. Let's see. Did I cut this? I don't know. Only you guys watching the video will know. Even I don't know if I'm going to cut this. Probably, and maybe not, because I'm talking now. I mean, there was that awkward silence for a moment earlier, but meh. And we're about to make landfall on the next island of our journey. Now, this island is actually two different islands. There's Ugly Duckling Island and Swan Island. Now, interesting thing about these islands, I think there's like technically 3 of them if you look here, and I think each one has a draw point on them. Or at least 2 of them do. But before we get into the BIOS, I'm picking up that draw point because I want that angular. Alright, welcome to the islands of basically the starting familiars. Oh damn, I am really low on MP. Anyway, you'll see what I mean in just a moment. We'll be right back really soon. Remember when we had a mite? They're found on this island just in the wild. They are resistant to storm and weak to water. They can drop ember stones and cheeseburgers. They know cut loose, sandblast, smash hit, and more. Now we move on to the next familiar that's found on this island. Who remembers Thumbo, the Thumbalemer? They're found on this island. They are weak or resistant to nothing. And they drop Confusion Begons and Glow Caps. They know Sharpener, Pebble Pelt, and Roly Poly. Now we move on to the next thing that can be found here. Remember when Esther had a Drongo? They're resistant to water. They drop Yogurt and Soft Scoop Ice Cream. They know Healing Tear, Thunder Spark, Sea Sense, and more. What's next, you might ask? Well, I'm gonna tell you. Next is Faye, the Seed Sprite. They are resistant to light and weak to fire. They drop Sleepy Gons and Slumber Knot Leaves. They know Drowsy Drops, Water Bomb, and Healing Tear. And the last one on this list is actually something brand new. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Toko. Before I get into reading this, little information about the Toko. Anyone who's familiar with the Dragon Quest games, Toko is similar to the Metal Slimes. Toko doesn't have the high defense of the Metal Slimes, but it does run away when you're in battle with it after a certain amount of time. Unlike the unforgiving Metal Slimes that could just run at the very beginning of the fight, these things seem to stay for a set time limit. I'm not exactly sure how long because I haven't timed it, but they do run after a certain amount of time, so kill them as fast as you can if you encounter a Toko. If you see one in the wild, try to sneak up on it because they run really fast. I think they give you at least 1,000 experience, because I know I did one battle with a Toko and I think a Mite and a Drongo, and I ended it with like 1,800 experience, or maybe it was 1,300. I don't remember the exact amount. This is me pulling from multiple weeks ago, so you'll have to forgive me, but I do know it was at least 1,000. But without further ado, Toko. These artless creatures are born in forests that teem with life. Their ability to briefly blind their foes goes some way to make up for their total lack of battlefield nos? I don't know what that word means. Anyway, they are weak and resistant to nothing. They drop creamy milk and cappuccinos, and they are born under the star sign. They know Razzle Dazzle, Blunt, Healing Tear, and more. Another quick tip about fighting Tokos. I would recommend, if you still have your Mite in whatever form he's in right now, use him. Because Mites attack pretty rapidly. You might have things that hit harder, but like, I'm not going to use Angelus to fight Tokos because she can miss because she wields axes, and accuracy is not their strong suit. Well, axes and hammers, but you get what I mean. So when fighting the Toko, you want a fast attacker. That's what you want. Let's move on to the other forms of Toko. Like the Toko. The sweet lullabies of the Toko Toko can send even the wariest enemies to sleep. A wizard must take great care when approaching these seemingly harmless creatures. Like the previous form, they are weak and resistant to nothing. They can be found at Billy Goat's Bluff. They drop Moondrops and Pixie Dew. They can know Rockabye Baby, Splish Splash, Sabotage, and more. Quick note about the Toko Toko. In my practice file, I recently had a battle with 2 of them. I don't know if Esther and Swain managed to kill the other Toko Toko, but I killed one of them, and at the end of the fight, I had over 8,000 experience from it. So when we do get to Billy Goat's Bluff, great grinding spot if you can find yourself some Toko Tokos. But for right now, Ugly Duckling Island is probably your best bet for grinding because regular Toko. But now we move on. What does a Toko Toko become? Well, he can become a Toko to Cold. Though they look and feel like pliant lumps of dough, these creatures have been known to unleash some truly devastating ice-based attacks. They are resistant to light and weak to darkness. They are born under the moon sign, unknown where you'd find them and unknown what they drop. But they know Snowblower, Rolling Stone, Healing Rain, and more. The other form your Toko Toko can become, if you catch one, is the Dako Toko. Do not be fooled by the Dako Toko's gormless appearance. They can perform a dance that brings a fallen ally back to life, a rare and wondrous talent. They are resistant to the dark, but weak to light. They are born under the star sign, and it is unknown where you could find them or what they drop. They know Upsy Daisy, Pick Me Up, Hocus Focus, and more. Alright, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with our bios for Ugly Duckling and Swan Island. Now, I'm going to hope I can find Toko... Oh no, that's a Seed Sprite. Never mind. I got excited for a second, like, really? And yeah, it's not running after me. That is a Thumbo. That is a Thumblelemur. 2 Thumblelemurs and a Mite. It's weird to see this from the other side. Ow. Seriously, this is bizarre. Eh. Well, Esther's dead. Again. Well, that's not happening. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you what you could become if you didn't fight us. You, however, I don't have your evolved form with me. So you're going to have to just, you know, deal with that. Yeah, we've seen all of their Golden Glims. And now, because I can... There was literally no reason for that, I just wanted to do it.
We did it!
Nice. And there's Petrifying Poke. I don't know if I want to give that to him right now, but I have it. There we go. And I will give you, Swain, a basic sandwich. Nope, that's another Thumblelemur. No! Leave me alone, Thumblelemur! I don't care! I don't want to fight you! Leave me alone! No means no! That's another Seed Sprite. Yeah, some of the islands have, like, set spawns. This one seems to be just, Thumblelemurs and Seed Sprouts. Or Sprites, excuse me. I know I've seen Tokos on this island here, but I'm pretty sure Tokos are just a rare spawn. I mean, you could battle, like, everything on the island and see if one just happens to spawn in one of your fights. But I just, like, you know, actually seeing...
No slacking, you
Well, here's a Drongo, so we'll keep this fight in, and I'll continue my train of thought. As I was saying, I think, it's better to just see a Toko on the map and then go for that, because you can see, well, there's definitely going to be a Toko in this fight, where if you, like, battle just a bunch of Thumblemers, you're just going to see a bunch of them, and maybe you'll get a Toko mixed in, but the likelihood is pretty damn scarce. There we go. Need more of that. And down goes the Drongo. Oh, wait. Gimme. And I almost forgot to cross that out from our list. There we go. Peachy! How close to getting an actual level. Let's see. That's a Drongo over there. That's a monolith of some kind. Really? You really want to do this, Seed Sprite? Oh, nice. Wrath got a level. All 2s. That's better than having a 1 mixed in. One day I will find a Toko on this island and we can move on. And not get bummed by random, stupid starter familiars that I want nothing to do with. Aside from the ones I have. Except they're not starter familiar. Well, I mean, I guess they're still technically the starter familiar, but they're evolved. They're better than these jerks. And I suppose, worst case scenario, I can do this off screen looking for a Toko here. But I want to show it on screen. Because A, it's a new familiar, so I can include the battle. And B, I want to show you that I wasn't just blowing steam out of my butt. It's actually a thing that you get like over 1,000 from them. Because you'd get 1,000 from the Toko. And you would get, oh, I thought this draw point was on the other side there. Look, you're a slow-moving dumb bird. I stopped and I still got away from you, you dummy. Now, is it on here or am I wrong? Nope, I'm wrong. Okay, no, that's fine. I mean... Oh no, please. Please, just go away. Oh, for God's sake. The other one, too. Well, there's a Seed Sprite. Why was it running? Is that a Seed Sprite or a... It's a stupid Seed Sprite? Okay, no, it was just a Seed Sprite running away. I got excited when I saw it running because usually when it runs, that means Toko. Yeah, that was a Seed Sprite. I saw the wings that time. Okay, so I'm probably just gonna cut this until I find a Toko, in all honesty. Because I want to do that before we move on to the next island. We got more bios to do for other places. Oh god, not another one. Leave me alone, Thumblemers, please! Wait, are you? I'm not sure what that was. That could have been a Toko. I didn't get a good enough look. It looked like a Thumblemur, though, with how it was running. Oh, hey, this respawned. I can include this for that, I guess. 2 Angulas. Okay, and that is another Seed Sprite. No! For God's sake, no! Okay, we're back. I couldn't find a Toko. Like I said, they're a very rare spawn, so... Well, I don't know if they're very rare. But, because I think I saw like at least 2 or 3 in my practice file. I guess I'm just unlucky today. Oh well. Moving on to the next area. Maybe I should... Nah, it's fine. I don't need my sea chart. Because I can figure out roughly when the northwestern sea starts. Pretty sure this thing will be a creature from the Northwest Sea. Let's see. Oh yeah, these are all new things, I'm pretty sure. But I'm going to do a quick test, or well, not test, but I'm going to take a quick peek in my physical book to see. There you are, Aquatica. You are the Hippure? Oh no, you're still north. And this fight isn't included.
Let's get out of here.
Nope, we are still in the North Sea.